Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Last Jedi trailer number 2 breakdown. 6-pounder, you're here with me again.
Oh, forcefully.
We've that was pretty bad. I accept. We've done this before. We did it with the first trailer. I'll put a link to that in the description because I may reference some things. But this is likely going to be a shorter one because we're not seeing much new stuff here. And I wanted to preface this trailer breakdown with with one, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Obviously, I think that goes without saying.
Are we?
And then 2, I have done a lot of research here. And before this trailer came out, Rian Johnson, the amazing director, had said on Twitter not to watch it. It's going to spoil things. If you want to go in fresh, don't watch this. And then he later, after the trailer came out, revised that. And he said, no, go ahead and watch it. That's what he says on Twitter. So I think, and this is going to be a theme here. There's 2 themes about this trailer we're going to go through. The first theme is misdirection. I think this is a massive misdirect, this entire trailer. The second theme, which is also an important one, is red.
Mm-hmm. Red? Mm-hmm.
It's a red.
Oh, there was a lot of red. Yeah, there was.
Yeah, so we're on the first frame here. There's a lot of information we can learn. There's Kylo standing there, trying to look cool. Now, this
struggling.
Is on... Yeah, this is what I believe is on the First Order Dreadnought. We'll talk about that later. It'll come into play. I'll actually show you what that looks like later too. But we're not looking at the foreground here. We're looking at the background. So we got some AT-ATs. Those are AT-ATs there, and they look to be. We'll see this shot again in a different angle, which will be a lot better. But you'll see they're kind of like on these like hooks that they're hanging off of. I believe those are drop ships that will drop them on. I was
going to say they look like drop ships. Kind of stuff that the droids get.
Exactly. Yeah. The droid. Yeah. When they come out of the like transport ship. Yeah. Kind of like that. But these will probably get dropped off, and that ship would fly back up to the dreadnought that you see here. And then there's some AT-AT or ATSTs rather, and there's some other stuff in this shot. But we're just going to go ahead and play. Good little.
When I found you.
That's Snoke. Now we're going to pause here. So Snoke says, when I found you. We're not going to really appreciate anything that they're saying because I fully believe that all the stuff they are saying is so out of context and misdirecty. And yeah, you're probably well aware of what I mean by any of that. So
these AT-ATs look badass, by the way. These
aren't AT-ATs. These are AT-M6.
Excuse me.
They're much bigger. You see an AT-AT right here.
Yeah. You're right, yeah.
You see an AT-AT right there, and then you see the AT-M6. Now, there is actually a description of it on the StarWars.com holocron, which is really a good spot for information. And it says that they are lumbering armored beasts that are the latest generation in walkers. These enormous transports help the First Order secure the worlds of their expanding territories. So it's essentially an AT-AT, except way more badass.
Steroids.
It looks like it's got like a... Yeah, it's got like a knuckle. You know, it looks like how a gorilla walks. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Second thing, we've seen this planet before from the previous trailer. Its name is actually Crate. It is C-R-A-I-T, I believe. And there's another thing that we have to... So this is essentially the shot that we saw in the previous trailer. Right? Of the speeders coming down and like hitting up the dust. This is Kylo's transport. We don't know if he's on it, but that's the one that he used in The Force Awakens, so we assume that it's the one that he's on currently, although it seems rather dangerous to be in a front line like that. So yeah, let's just breaking down this shot a little bit. We'll continue. This is very reminiscent of Empire Strikes Back. Okay? We'll just keep that in mind.
I saw raw.
I don't know what this is, so I'm going to pause it here. So obviously that's Kylo Ren. Then we have these troopers, which are different than we've seen. These aren't the First Order stormtroopers we saw in The Force Awakens. They're using the same weapons. They have packs, and it reminds me of the snowtroopers from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, from Hoth.
Yeah, so we're getting some vibes there.
Is this
which tells me? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is this the place where they were talking to Snoke before? It has this...
No. This is a new place, it might be
like that
because they want to bring all these troopers.
It's throne room area, kind of. It kind of looks the same vibe, but
at first, when I first saw this, I thought, "Oh, this could be because it's got like these red streaks in the ground.
Yeah.
It's like, this could be Mustafar, which is like if it was Lava-E, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
I think this is actually Crate. So I think this is the same planet we
Same
just saw
planet.
those ATM-6s. Yeah.
Okay.
And that'll be a theme that I talk about later. So he walks in, Snoke says, raw, untapped power. Actually, I'm going to listen to that again. So let me back that out to boop, 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 boop. There. We'll listen to it again together, obviously.
When I found you,
And I don't think he's talking about.
untamed power.
I mean, I saw raw, untamed power. I don't know if he's talking to.
Sounds like he's talking about
Rey?
Rey and not
It
Kylo
feels
Ren.
like he's. It feels like he's talking about Rey, which will make more sense later
Yeah.
too.
And beyond that,
This is when I'm saying red is a theme. There's a lot of red in this trailer.
Yeah.
It's really good, but
That's a
another
good
shot
contrast,
of Kylo.
that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh wait, what does he say there? We talked over that. We'll back that up.
and beyond that,
And beyond that, what?
something truly special.
He's definitely talking to Rey. And then with the snap to Rey there, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Back on the island.
Yep.
Obviously with a
Luke's
blue
lightsaber.
lightsaber. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it's the one she
We're gonna
found
find out in a second.
in the box, right? That she brought back.
Yeah, the tip looks a little different.
It does.
Hold
The
on,
style looks different, but I mean, we're talking like
Well,
the
we're about to
80s
see
until
it.
9 now.
Well, no, we're about to see a different angle of it. Oh, and by the way, this music is reminiscent of the Imperial March, but it never gets to the Imperial March, and I love that so much because they like teasing us with that Empire Strikes Back feel, because this is definitely going to be a darker film, but I don't think it's going to be like The Force Awakens, where it was just a recreation of the first movie. Obviously, on the island, we've seen this stuff before. Now, you're right, it is the same lightsaber. Okay, there's another detail here. And this is just kind of an appreciation thing, an appreciation to the detail that they've shown us, is in The Return of the Jedi, when they're on the sand skiffs. You remember that on Tatooine?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a point where I don't remember exactly what happens off the top of my head, but like Luke gets like a blaster bolt to the hand, and obviously he had already lost his hand at that point. Well, he lost it in Empire. But in this, you see his robotic hand here where he's obviously peeled off the skin to it. But you see that little blaster fire there?
That's funny. I didn't even notice that the first couple times I watched this. It's such a minor detail, but it's very cool.
It makes
they
such
added
a
it.
difference.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's how you know Star Wars fans are making this movie. Love it.
Me has always been there.
So something inside me has always been there. Yeah. This is the same planet, by the way, and we can tell this because you see what she's wearing there, and then we back it up. Actually, I guess we could just move forward. So this is still on the island
But I was awake.
because that's what she's wearing. So we assume that either this scene then transitions into the books, because we didn't know if that the plant thing that she's, or the tree thing that she's at in this scene was on the same planet. Now we know.
Yeah, it's the same one where she was looking at the book or whatever, right? The first time.
Yeah, so this is with the book, which is wherever this is, which is on the island with Luke. So we know that this is all together. So far in this trailer, we have seen 3 locations. We've seen the Dreadnought, which is like the big Star Destroyer. We have seen this planet that they're on, Act 2, I think is what it was called, and we have seen Crate. So we'll continue on. That's important.
And I need help.
The same style of shot as the first one.
Yep. I love that face that Luke has.
His Luke's O face.
Like, oh, look at that. Now we're going to continue on because this is obviously, we've seen a lot of this before, but he's going to say something important here, so we'll listen to it.
I've seen this raw strength only once before.
And then he says,
It didn't scare me enough.
which, by the way, in case you weren't sure, this is obviously at the temple, which is where this next shot is too. But it didn't scare me enough then.
Scare me enough then. It does now.
There's something important here. People were thinking that he might be talking to Kylo Ren, and now he's seeing Rey, and he's like, whoa, hey, hold on there. But we don't think that's the case, because...
Who's he talking about? Yeah.
See, well, remember when he said that when the Last Jedi name came out, people put together that, in The Return of the Jedi, Yoda says, Luke, when gone am I, the last of the Jedi you will be, right?
Yeah.
So we're kind of like, okay, well, obviously Luke's the Last Jedi. That makes a lot of sense. But then he says this line, and people have, again, gone back to the moments with Yoda, and now there's something really important here. Yoda tells Luke Skywalker at one point that he's going to need to confront Vader. And Luke pretty much responds with, I'm not scared. So I think that's what he's referring to. I think he's actually referring to Vader here. Again,
really?
They're good at misdirecting this.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I've seen this kind of power before, which is Vader, because he was that kind of power, and I wasn't afraid then. And then he sees Rey, I am afraid now. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I don't. Your explanation certainly does make sense, but I don't know. Because when he was so much younger when the first films came out, I don't know if he would have felt that way, and that's why I don't know if he's talking about that. But then again, I don't have a rebuttal on who he could be talking about in place of Vader, so I don't.
In place of it, it could be Kylo, but I don't think it is.
No, I doubt it.
Because I think he sees Kylo as a little bitch, right? That's the best way to put it.
I mean, who else could it be? Besides the Emperor, but he's not there. But
the Emperor's not there. Or we might learn something in Star Wars Battlefront 2 with the whole story there that maybe the Emperor does an Old Republic Emperor kind of thing, where he just kind of exists
like another
as energy,
Sith Lord or something.
And then he comes back eventually. Anyways, I don't know. That could be the case.
Yeah.
We're moving on because we've got more trailer to go through still. So this is a really cool part here. We'll talk about it in a second. But I like how so far it's had that like dun, 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 dun. And it's kind of got like the Imperial March going.
Yeah.
Underneath it with the build. And then it just quickly transitions into Kylo's theme here, which is beautiful.
Let the past die.
And then he says, let the past die, and he throws his arm, and I think it's his helmet, down, which is interesting because I think he's given up on trying to be like Vader, because that was kind of his whole thing in the first movie.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I don't think we're going to see him with the helm anymore, so I think he's getting rid of that. And then we have here a space battle. We got a Mon Cal cruiser dead in the center. We've got one of the Corvettes over here, and then one of the like massive, essentially like battleships. It's like a transport cruiser over there. We've seen all these kind of ships before. And then we see, which is called, it's Kylo's ship, followed by two First Order Spec Ops TIE fighters, which you could tell because it's got the red band there. It's hard to see, but it is there. And his TIE is called the TIE Silencer, which you go to...
Okay.
Yeah, if you go to the holocron again, it says that it's reminiscent in design of the Emperor's TIE Interceptor and Darth Vader's TIE Advanced. Kylo's Ren TIE Silencer is an angular fighter equipped with laser cannons and missile launchers. Ren is an expert pilot, thanks to the skills passed down from his father, which he put to use exploiting his ship's speed and ferocity. There's no other First Order craft like the TIE Silencer, and it is an effective tool in Ren's mission to destroy the Resistance. So kind of cool little
That's an awesome name,
stuff.
By the way. Cool name.
The Silencer?
Yeah.
Well, it's reminiscent of the Star Destroyer he was on, the Finalizer.
The Finalizer,
which
yeah.
is really cool. That was the one.
That's an awesome name, too.
Kill it.
So, more shots of them attacking this, which is fine, but he says something here.
Kill it.
Kill it. He's talking about the past, kill it, like leave it behind, yada, yada, yada.
By the way, his scar, awesome looking.
Yeah, I'll pause that when it gets a closer up shot. Then we see a picture here of Carrie Fisher, which is just like heartbreaking because it's like she is such a big part of this movie. So it's really sad. But that said, I think they've purposefully linked these two together because he says like kill it if you have to, like leave the past behind, or in order for you to become. You'll hear it in a second, but I don't think these shots are in conjunction with each other. They make it seem like it is, but I don't think it is.
That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
Yeah. I don't know if that is actually going to be the case, but you see it's like a carbon fiber
Yeah.
like wound.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Very cool.
I do like that. So we can
carbon
we
fiber.
can tell time.
It's great.
Well, that's what it looks like.
I know.
We can tell time is passing in this for the simple fact that you see the scar here. So this is soon after. This is a good thing to say. This is soon after he gets the wound.
Yeah.
Because later in a couple shots, it is no longer there, which means he's healed up a bit.
Yeah, I noticed that the first time I saw it. I was like, oh, that thing's not there anymore.
So what my theory is that after the base is destroyed, whatever it's called. Oh gosh, what was the planet called? I don't remember. You know what I'm talking about. When they blow up the First Order planet.
Planet Killer.
Yeah, Starkiller Base, thank you. When they blow that up, I think that the First Order comes to retaliate, because we know that the movie, unlike having a time jump like the other movies, is going to it's going to start right up with Rey and Luke at the beginning. So we're going to see all the island stuff pretty much right off the bat, which is fine. We'll probably see her with him for quite some time. But I think that the First Order comes and retaliates against Dakar, which is the planet that has the resistance base on it. We'll get to that in a moment. Kind of a cool moment there. Yeah. Oh gosh, this music. It's so good.
Oh my god, I get goosebumps every time. Oh god.
So we see a ton of crystals in here with the Millennium Falcon flying through. I believe 100% this is still the planet Crate, which is the one with the AT-ATs on it and the AT-M6s on it. Because the description of Crate is it's now uninhabited, and Crate is a mineral world dusted by a large layer of white salt reflecting the planet's sunlight. It was once the site of a rebel alliance outpost and has become the haven for the fleeing resistance forces. So my assumption, I think, is correct here. So they get counterattacked. They have to flee to Crate, and then Crate gets under attack, and now we have like the Millennium Falcon being chased through these underground caverns of these cool red crystals here, which is a great shot.
Awesome.
I love that.
Awesome. Chewie. It's the greatest.
Do you hate these things?
No, I thought it was
Okay.
I was like, what is this thing? It's so cute. Just don't screw it up. Like Jar Jar.
It's called a Porg.
Yeah, Porg. Okay.
Yeah, they're kind of new. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be adorable.
Oh my god, it looks like a cross between like a penguin and like a seal, and it's everything I ever wanted. Can I buy one of these?
Yeah. Oh, you can.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to market the hell out of whatever this thing is,
Well, you know how like BB-8 was the marketing tool?
Oh, yeah.
And they did such a good job with that, and he was executed well in the movie. I think the Porgs are going to be the BB-8 of this movie.
What I want to know is, how did Chewbacca get this thing? Has he been... Where did he get this guy?
We're going to find out. It's going to be amazing.
Has he been living in his fur this whole time and we just didn't know?
I actually just had a thought.
What's that?
There are shots that we're not seeing from... Okay, so again, we've seen the Dreadnought, we've seen Act 2, and we've seen Crate. Those are the three locations we've seen in both trailers so far.
Yeah.
So that means that I think there is a good 95% of this movie we still haven't even seen. And we do know of one location because they filmed it. It's now on the holocron. It's a planet called Katanika or something like that.
Okay.
And the city that they're on is a gambling city called Cato Bite, I think. So Canto Bite? Yeah, that's it. Canto.
Wait, that's not the city where in... Oh, and that... What was the name of the book you told me to read? There was a gambling city in the book that I read. What was the name of the...
In Bloodlines?
Yeah, what was the name of the city? There was a gambling city that was like... It was like underground, wasn't it? But I don't remember the name now. I'll have to look it up later.
Yeah, I don't think that was it. I don't think that was it. Okay. That's a good throwback. I like that. It may very well be it. Yeah. But this is an above ground, like on the beach city, because we've seen the location. And we think that that's where they're holding the memorial service for Han Solo.
Okay.
Because of the shots we've seen, everybody's in like tuxes and stuff. That said, and everybody's like wearing black. That said, I think that Chewie or whoever is flying the Millennium Falcon at this point, because they don't show us, maybe that's where they got this Porg. Because that would make sense.
It's so cute.
Look at it. It is adorable. I like them.
I like it too.
Dang, Disney's good at their marketing. Okay, so we're going to move on. These little ships here, we're going to see in a second. You can see these windows. Yes. Right? So if you want to see scale, that's your scale. Because those are those windows that we just looked at. So if we go back, boop, See like the little windows there.
So it's not a terribly big ship, but it's...
No, it's a tiny little ship. And obviously they're in it, which means I think these are escape ships.
Okay.
And then we get this cool shot of... Oh, no. I went to the end. Oh, by the way, that's the... I'm gonna talk to it in a minute, but that's the dreadnought. Yeah, anyways, I'll show that in a minute. Essentially, if I go back to... Where was it?
So good.
Those things. We're seeing like a booster on the back of this thing. Now we know some X-Wings. This is Poe's X-Wing. You can tell because of the color as we go away. Because it has the yellow and the black.
Okay.
Some X-Wings are now fitted with hyperdrives. But the problem, like for example, Luke had a hyperdrive on his X-Wing. That's totally fine. There's nothing crazy about that. But this feels like something new. This feels like an afterburner, which I like. Okay, so we see a shot here. This confirms it. So this is the dreadnought, of which I will I'll back out real quick. I'll check the timestamp here. We are on 137. So this is the dreadnought.
That thing is mean looking.
It's mean. It's got this massive cannon underneath. I didn't write down the description of it, but then you see like this big upper deck and think like this thing is big. This is dark. I'm kind of excited for what the heck this is going to be. Awesome. This is straight from the Star Wars website. What was it?
137.
137. Yep. Okay. So we see the big upper deck here. And there's another thing we see. We see this like debris field in the background.
Oh.
And we've seen this before. It was a shot when everybody was headed to Dakar. Oh, by the way, that's a normal Star Destroyer back there. Maybe the finalizer.
Oh, I did not even see that thing back there.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go frame by frame. And you can see the planet back here. This confirms that this is Dakar. So this confirms my suspicion that there is, at the beginning of the movie, there is going to be a counterattack. It's going to be dark. They're going to have to flee Dakar. And they're getting attacked by the dreadnought. And this shot is obviously on some kind of ship. I'm assuming... Oh, you see the transport back there? Interesting. I'm assuming this is on the Mon Cal ship that the fleet is on, essentially. And then freaking Poe, or not Poe, sorry, freaking Finn, with the. Do you know what this thing is called? This baton that we saw.
You did tell me before, and I forget. And I'm gonna hurt myself when you tell me again.
This is from the First Order Riot Patrol.
Yeah.
That's what they're called, where they have like the shield and the baton. This is a Z6 Riot Control Baton. That's the official name for it.
Okay.
Cool little showdown. Bam. And we've seen this scene before in the previous trailer where there was the big explosion with Poe's X-Wing.
It's very reminiscent of episodes like when Luke's fighting Vader. Very reminiscent of that.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Oh, wow. It is. You're right. But I love the color here. This is going to be a really great movie. Really wide shots.
I need that as a wallpaper
different
now.
Kind of color. It's pretty good, isn't it? Actually, I like this. All right, continue. We see the dreadnought in the background there. We see the Starfield. We see the Resistance bombers. Those are the names of these guys. X-wings. We see. I'm pretty sure that is the finalizer. So, we're seeing a lot here. And if that's the scale, if that's the finalizer, the freaking dreadnought is massive. It's like a super Star Destroyer.
Does that thing have a name?
What?
The dreadnought?
No, it's the First Order dreadnought.
Oh, that's just what it's called. Okay.
That's what they're calling it right now. It may have a name.
So I was going to say dreadnoughts are just a class of ship normally. But...
That's true. That may be what it is. It may have a name, but we haven't been given a name yet.
Okay.
But yeah, we see the Starfield back here. So this is the First Order attacking Dakar. BB-8, good old BB-8, and this is Poe's ship. So this is after that bombing run that we just saw when we first saw the dreadnought, where he kind of goes through the front of the ship and he probably gets some kind of zap there. So I did it again. So Luke there says, "This is." We'll hear it again.
This is
not going to go the way you think. That's what he says. From the terrain, I'm pretty sure this is still
the island.
The island.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's talking to Rey. Although I just noticed something for the first time. He's got blood on his lip.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. So this could also be because it's raining.
Yeah.
This could also be a flashback scene from the temple, but I doubt it. Anyways. Then we see these cool little fox things.
Awesome looking.
They're made of salt. This is the salt that I talked about on Crate. This is Crate.
Oh, that's salt?
See the red mountains.
I thought that was snow at first.
No, it says Crate is a mineral world dusted by a layer of white salt.
No,
So
I know what the description you said was, but like the first time I saw this trailer, I assumed that was like snow and frost on like crystal and something.
Okay, and then we see the base, which is reminiscent of Hoth, and I think that's all intentional, although I don't think this movie is going to be a remake of Empire Strikes Back. And then we see that closing, and with Leia there. Those are like big guns, so again, kind of like Hoth.
Okay.
So obviously this is before or after or before or during the attack. We'll see.
The way you think.
Leia's there, which again tells me that this is a retreat and they've come to Crate and now they're being attacked here. So they're kind of on the run.
Timeline makes sense.
Yep. And then we get this shot of Rey jumping into the water, which I think is still on the island. Coming out of it. Oh, and then, then we see Luke here.
Yeah, that's looked like a similar scene to when he's laying down, but I wonder how he got like that.
How he get blood. Yeah.
Unless they were sparring
So
or something.
I don't know. I think it might be a little different. I mean, this, again, redirects is the theme here.
Yeah.
And then we see Finn is captured. So this is obviously after the attack, after the Phasma thing. So that doesn't go as planned. Now, remember the beginning shot of this trailer?
Yeah.
This is just a different angle.
Yeah.
So we have, you see the AT-ATs, you see these AT-STs right over here, which is pretty cool. Yep. They look a little different. Which the AT-ATs, I'm sure, are also a little different. All of these TIE fighters up here on the roof.
Oh my god, I didn't even see them.
Those troopers we saw, we were like, those aren't normal troopers. Well, we got them over here.
Those are they look like the bomber helmets from the original series, don't they? Or officer helmets?
Really.
I don't remember which.
Because this guy here on that left side,
yeah.
this is a flame trooper that we've seen from The Force Awakens, and then these guys have like these like bits on the back of the helm.
Oh, you know what they look like? They look like white versions of the guys that were on the Death Star. The guys that were like firing the lasers, except they're white instead of like black.
Kind of.
Yeah.
We have some Death Troopers here.
I'm stretching it.
These are either Death Troopers or TIE Fighter pilots. Probably TIE Fighter pilots. And we have some officers, normal stormtroopers. Interestingly enough, now that I see these guys are definitely the dudes that were following Kylo Ren into that cave, which means that is most certainly still on Crate. So this is above Crate before the invasion. I believe that this is what the shot is. This is what the first shot of the trailer was. Again, we've only seen those locations. We haven't seen any other location. And then we get the battle, a little bit more up close version of that battle. Those things. We see Snoke for the first time. He looks incredibly good and creepy.
Grandpa-like.
And I think this shot confirms that he's talking to Rey because she's doing that. And you see him in the background. You can tell because dang it, I did it again. I think I did that last time. We were like right at the end. So he's got like the gold robe, like the Goldfinger robe, or what's
gold member?
Gold member. Is that what it was from Austin Powers?
Yeah, gold member.
Yeah. So you see him in the background. You see the Imperial Guard there?
Yeah, Imperial Guard.
Interesting. Oh, we've seen them before. They look really cool. We've seen shots of them. Not in the movie.
They were with
trailers,
Vader.
But
Vader had them.
Well, no. Right. What I mean is we've seen an actual shot of this kind of version that they put out that they look really cool, but it wasn't a part of the trailer, I don't think. And then she says,
I need someone to show me my place.
To show me my place in all this is to finish her line. But I want to point something out here because I'm going to back this up a little bit to the beginning of the shot. Notice the light does not flicker. This is going to be my point. It's a solid light against her. And then we go over to Kylo Ren. I'm going to flip between the two shots here. We go. See how the light's a little different? One's more orange, one's more yellow.
Yeah.
I believe this may be on Crate, because we've seen a shot of her running on Crate at night from the previous trailer when she's like running all fiercely with the lightsaber.
Yeah.
I believe this is on Crate before that, because this is like a sunset light, whereas this is fire.
Yeah.
And we could tell because this light never flickers, whereas this, see it flickering?
Yeah.
Which tells me that that's fire.
Yeah.
And this
a
also,
different scene.
he's got the healed scar. So this is later in the film. And it's also not a flashback. Some people said, like, what if this is a flashback to the Jedi Temple? It obviously isn't.
Yeah.
But all the burning kind of gives you that feeling. And he seems pretty worked up, lots of sweat. So either
He's
it's
been
hot
running.
because there's fire, or he's been fighting. But like, if you put these two shots together, it's really great. Yeah, Ray, shut up. If you put these two shots together, it's really great because it's a good misdirection.
To show me my place in all this.
And you're like, oh, that is awesome. But it's not, because it's a total misdirect, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, they gotta spice it up a little.
Yeah, so this, I think that's a pretty good breakdown of the trailer. We've seen a lot from the other trailer, but I believe we've only seen really 4 locations now. We've seen Dakar, we've seen Crate, we've seen the Dreadnought, and we've seen Act 2. And then whatever the heck Kylo is at on the last one, I don't think that's in from any of the locations. I think that's the best way to put that down. Now, you guys can come back and watch this video after the movie comes out on the 15th of December.
And we'll be like, oh, we missed all of this. Oh.
Well, or it's going to be either, wow, I was totally wrong about all this, or it's going to be like, oh my gosh, you put the pieces together early. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Another thing,
Love it.
on the holocron is I think they call it the holocron or the datacron. I don't remember what they call it on the website. But there was another entry that I saw that I wanted to show you. There's let me scale that to frame size. Hold on. So there's this dude here.
What is that?
It is he is called the First Order Executioner.
Is that supposed to be like an old school giant axe kind of deal, lopping off heads?
Yeah. Yeah, in in the description, it basically says like he is the person who throws out justice or swift justice.
He's Judge Dredd for the First Order.
For the people who go against the First Order, he's the one who enacts the justice afterwards.
Cool armor though.
Which I'm interested if we're going to see him once once Finn gets captured, if we're going to see this guy. But that is awesome. We get to see a vibro axe, which looks sick. Yeah,
is that what that is? I've never actually never
I think
seen
this
one.
I think this is the First Order version of a vibro axe, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here. But this guy's cool. So I just wanted to add that because that was a new addition to that, and we haven't seen him before. Yeah. But man, this trailer is just beautiful from start to finish, and there's just so many great shots of that they've shown us. And I think Rian Johnson's doing a great job. And I think this movie is going to be the best Star Wars movie, period.
Bold claim.
Yeah.
Bold claim.
Yeah.
Better than Rogue One?
Yeah, much better than Rogue One. And much better than The Force Awakens.
Okay. Well, at least you can admit that one.
I think it's just everything I'm seeing here is really cool, and I'm liking it a lot. So I'm looking forward to the movie. But do you have any other thoughts that maybe you picked up on while breaking this down with me?
I don't know, because you always do this to me. Every time we do these, it's like you pick out the hey, you see this little speck here? Yeah, that's a planet that they're going to visit. I'm like, what? I didn't even see that. So you do this.
How is that a thing?
Yeah. So it's like, I'm going to have to go back and look at it again just to see if I pick out anything. But I mean, just from my opinion, I got really pumped up when I saw this. Oh man, it looks good.
It's such a good trailer.
Wait. So yeah, like the first one got me going, but this one, oh boy, like just give it to me now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this a lot, and I think everybody else should be too. So,
for sure,
if you guys have any thoughts, put them in the comments below. Of course, I love reading those because you guys give me ideas that I can then bounce off of. And it's like a stepping stone thing. Like I just noticed these huge cannons on the top of these guys. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot to go off of here, and I'm really excited to kind of see, where the movie goes. And at this point, I don't want to watch another trailer. I just want the movie to come out on the 15th and for me to go and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Please.
It's going to be really good. And in between now and then, Battlefront 2 comes out, I will be doing a full series on the single player of that, which is a canonical story following Iden Versio, which if you haven't read or listened to the audiobook of Inferno Squad, you should do that because it takes place in that 30-year gap between 6 and 7, and we may get maybe a couple characters in there that transfer over to The Last Jedi, so we'll see how that ends up working. It's been fun, Six. This was a shorter video than the last one by a whole 6 minutes. No, by a whole 5 minutes.
Oh boy.
Good times. Thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you.
We shall see you guys next time.